Hello, once again. Welcome to the nightclub. That was awesome. All right, we're going to do our Chapter 1 review today. Go over each problem. Our test is tomorrow. Yay, I have a practice test on the copy machine for you right now. So that's just, for you. So let's get started. Number 1 says state the domain and range of the function and then tell whether the function is tell whether the relation is a function. Excuse me. First off, domain and range. What are they?
X and Y.
X and Y. So for the domain for this one, it's pretty simple. You just state what the x's are. Okay? Now, -2 is twice. Once you say the domain is -2, is there any reason to say it has -2 in it anymore? No. So you just have to put that once. I'm not going to count off if you do write it twice, but I'm just letting you know you don't have to. Because when you state the domain and range, you are literally saying what x and y can be, or what they are. So they're -2. So once you say x is -2, there's no reason to say it's -2 again. Does that make sense? Okay. The range is what?
-3, -1, and -5.
-3, -1, and -5.
Doesn't matter what order, right?
It does not matter what order. Okay, these are not ordered pairs. Everybody got me? Okay, you're just saying what the x's are and what the y's are. And is that a function? Well, the way you tell that, the easy way, do any of the x's repeat? If they do, it's not a function. Okay? If they don't, it is a function. So this one is not a function. Okay? And just so everybody's kind of clear what a function is, every x can only go to one and only one y. Okay? It doesn't matter about the y's. Okay? But every x, see how -2, if I plug in -2, what am I getting out? -3. I'm only getting out -3, but the next one says when I plug in -2, what do I get out? -1. That's why it's not a function. Because you can't put something in and get two different things out. Everybody with me? Okay? Now, I can put in -2 and get -3, and then I can put in -1 and get -3, and I can put in 0 and get -3. That's okay, as long as they're only going to those one numbers. Okay? So the y's can repeat, the x's cannot. Any questions? Everybody good? Awesome. Number 2, determine the domain of the function. So we're just doing the domain this time. Sometimes, like we did on number 1, we tell what the domain is. Sometimes it's quicker to tell what the domain is not. Okay? So, if you have variables in the denominator, what can you not divide by? 0. So basically, you're going to say x can be anything except those x's that would give you 0 on the bottom. Okay? This x, right here, what would it be to give the whole bottom to be 0? 0. So x cannot be 0. Okay? And then in the parentheses,
So that always be included in your answer? Something like that?
x in here, if this were subtracting 100, x squared would have to be 100, right? So what x's give you 100 if you square them? 10, but also -10. Okay? So your domain is all the x's except x can equal 0, 10, and -10. They can be anything else. Is that making sense? Everybody good? All right. Number 3 just says which of the following graphs is a function. We're using our vertical line test. Okay? Anytime it's shaded, which this was shaded, it may not have been shown up good on your paper, but this is what it's supposed to look like. You know that can't be it. That's not a function. This one, if I draw a vertical line, it touches how many times? Twice. It can only touch once if it's a function. Okay? D, twice as well. So it can't be that one. B is the only one that it's only going to touch once. Okay? No matter where you put that line, it doesn't matter. I can't grab it. Oh well. It doesn't matter. Where you put the line on the graph, it's always going to be touching the graph once. Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. All right, number 4. Same thing. which of the following is a graph, is a function. So would A be a function? No. How about C? C is the answer.
How do you?
Okay? Because, let me see if I can do it this time. I want to draw me a vertical line. Okay. Missed it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so no matter where I put that vertical line on the graph, it's only touching the graph one time. Does that make sense? Okay?
So it's always going to be a vertical line instead of horizontal?
If you're testing the graph itself, whether it's a function or not, yes, it will be vertical. Okay? See up here, if I put it there, it's only touching it once. But if I put it there, right there in the middle, it's touching it 3 times. Okay? It can only touch it once everywhere. If I come over here, it's touching it a whole bunch of times. All right? This one, I know the points are hard to see, but that point's good, that point's good. There's my problem right there. Okay? Because here, -2 goes up to 4, but -2 also goes up to 8. Well, it can't go to both. Does that make sense? Okay? Everybody good? I'm just going to keep this right here and bring it down here. How about 5? It is A. Okay? No matter where you put it, it's only touching it once. Here, more than once, more than once, more than once. Okay? So it is A. Any questions on those? Everybody's good on the first sheet, right? All right. Oops. Number 6. This time we are stating the domain and range and then telling whether it's a function or not. So back to saying domain and range. These again are a little different than the ones we did before. Okay. So my domain is what x can be, right? Think of it like this. How far left and how far right? Because that's the x-axis, correct? How far left will this go? How far right will it go? So my domain is all real numbers. Okay?
So what's a real number?
A real number is any number that's not imaginary.
So it's every number.
Except the imaginary ones, yes. Okay? Includes rational, irrational, pi, all those are real. Okay? What about my range? How low does it go? It goes down to -2 and goes up how far? Forever. So what would my range be? What can y be? It's greater than or equal to -2. That's all you have to do. Okay? You will eventually get to, there's lots of different ways you can say this. This is how they're wanting you to say it. Okay, if you didn't notice, I gave you the answers to the review. Okay, they're in the back. So this is how they want it. Another math class, they start using like ordered pairs. This would have been -infinity and +infinity, meaning it goes all the way to the left and all the way to the right, okay? This one you would have put, -2 to infinity.
Can we do that?
No. You can, I'll know what you're talking about, but I think this is easier for right now, okay? Now, the reason I put a bracket here rather than a parentheses means it's open, okay? A bracket means it's closed. So if you have an equal sign, you're going to want to put a bracket, okay? And again, I'm just kind of showing y'all this in case you see it on the ACT or something, okay? Those mean the same things. 7. 7 is a circle, so it doesn't go forever in any direction. So we have a kind of a lowest number and a highest number to do this one, okay? So, domain, furthest point to the left. God bless you. Furthest point to the left would be about right there. Everybody see that? How far is that to the left? -3. So it's going to start at -3, and we're going to put less than or equal to x, and less than or equal to, what's the farthest point right? 7.
Is that okay if I did it? The other way.
What other way?
Or I put the,
7 is
I did great.
greater than or equal to x, which is greater than or equal to negative 3.
I flipped the numbers too. Yeah.
As long as you flip the numbers, you're good. But try to write them. Always write smallest to biggest. Okay? All right. Range, lowest to highest. So where's my lowest point down here?
-7.
It's at -7. Less than or equal to. This time, remember, range is what? Y. What's the highest point? 3. And again, layman's terms, this is saying, hey, your x can be anything between -3 to 7, and your y can be anything from -7 to +3. Does that make sense? Okay. X can't be -10, because there is no point on the graph that has -10. Everybody cool? I don't know what ghoul means, but I've said it. 8. Domain. Range. Oh, by the way, I heard this on the radio this morning. What did the hot dog say when he won the race? I'm a wiener. That's so good. I'm glad y'all. That's a dad joke. All right. How far left? 0s, as far as it goes. Okay. How far right? Forever. So, what does x have to be? Greater than or equal to 0. Okay. Makes sense?
Hold on, let me write that down.
All right. What would my range be? How far down does it go? Forever. Okay. Arrow means it goes forever. How far up?
Forever.
Forever. All real numbers. Everybody good? Rocking and rolling. All right.
Before we move to we didn't state whether it was
Oh, we sure didn't. Thank you. My bad. We forgot to finish the problem.
Yes.
Was 6 a function?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
6 is. Was 7?
No.
7 was not. Was 8? No.
Got a question
Okay.
before we move. pages?
Function, function, no function, no function. Yes.
About the circle one.
Yes.
Is there a way to like? Would it be like a square? Like, is there a way that it would be a square and then you have to tell that it's a circle or not? Like, if there's like a kind of equation where it's a square on the page instead of a circle.
Okay.
Would you have to like
Do
show
the
that
same
it's-
thing.
Would it be the same thing? But
The
or would
domain
it
and
be-
range would be the same. If it was that big. Like if you had a square and it's not a square
Yeah,
because
would
they're
you
not.
have to tell them
the same.
circles?
So if that's your graph, it would have the exact same domain and range as that circle.
Just the exact same.
Yep.
I was wondering if you would have to like show that it's a circle.
Nope. Because again, they're just asking you domain and range. So what's the furthest point left? What's the furthest point right? What's the furthest point down? What's the furthest point up? Okay. Good question. All right. Number 9. One more of these. Determine the domain and range. Tell whether it's a function or not. Number 9 is actually the easiest of them, I guess. You just need to make sure you label all your points. I'm going to make sure. I think y'all can see them better on your paper than I can see them. So if I miss one, let me know. Do y'all have 8? Okay. So what you first need to do is name the points. You have 7. You must have missed one. Should look like that. All right. So this point right here, left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up 3. So -6, 3. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So -4, -9. This one, left 1, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -1, -5. This one is 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See here, this one, 1, 2,
Negative
3,
two.
4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6, negative 9. This one's 8, 2. 8, 2. Negative 2, thank you. You said that, I just didn't write it.
4.
Thank you. All right. Now, we do it just like the very first problem. Okay? Domain. We don't have to say greater than, less than, or equal because we have specific points. Okay? So my x's are the domain. So we got negative 6, negative 4, negative 1, 3, 6, 8, 9, and 10. My range, we started down here at negative 9, went up to negative 5, negative 4, negative 2, 3, 7, and 9. Okay? Notice, did I make them match up? No, you don't have to. Okay? I just went from left to right and bottom to top. Okay? If you write them in a different order, that's okay too. Everybody good? Okay? If you notice, I only have 7 on the range. Why is that? Because negative 9 happens twice. Okay? Do I have a question? Well, I did.
I didn't.
So basically, you're saying I did the opposite of my job.
No, I'm confused, but it's okay.
What did I confuse you about?
I thought positive 9 happened twice.
Positive 9. Well, there's an X that's 9 and a Y that's 9.
No, I know that. I think I just have it written wrong.
These on the bottom, did you put a positive 9 by any chance? By mistake?
I think I did.
Okay. All right.
I
All
got confused.
All right. Number 10 should have been easy. And I hesitate saying that ever because if you don't know how to do it, it ain't easy. I went the wrong way. Sorry. What do we do with that 2? Plug it in. So, f of 2 will be 3 times 2 squared plus 3 times 2 minus 8. And you just put all that in your calculator just like that. And if you do that, what did you get? 10. 10 is correct.
I messed up. I thought you were supposed to square 3 first before you times it by 2.
The square is on the what?
2.
2. The square is on the x. Okay? So, yeah, the 3 does not get a square. All right? 11, if you didn't notice, I gave you choices. Okay? I think some of you didn't realize that till it's too late. But here we're going to plug in what for x? N minus 2. Okay? I'm going to do my little shortcut here. This would be n squared, right? It's Caden's favorite thing to do in the world.
Yeah, it messed me up.
N squared. What's negative 2 squared? 4. And then we multiply them together and then times 2. So negative 2 times n times 2 is negative 4n. And then on the n we got minus 3 over 3n minus 6. And then we just add our like terms. What's 4 minus 3? 1. So n squared minus 4n plus 1 over 3n minus 6.
So, all you do is, so when you had n minus 2 squared,
Correct?
you would times negative 2 times whatever number's there. Just saying if it was like 3 or something. Like if n was 3.
Here?
Yeah, you do negative 2 times 3, and then times 2.
Correct. Yep. All right. 12. They give us our 2 functions, and what are we doing with the 2 functions? We're just adding. We don't have to do all of them. Thank goodness. Okay? We're just adding. Okay? So when you're adding, there's really not a lot of work to show because really you're just adding these up, correct? So that's going to be 36 minus x squared plus 6 minus x. So the only thing that you can add together is the 36 and the 6, and that makes what? 42. So we have negative x squared minus x plus 42, and that is A. Everybody good so far? Wonderful.
So you just did 36 plus 6?
Yep. That's the only two like terms within these, 36 and 6. All right.
Okay. I times the x on the end. Like on the problem, you see how it says x. That's what messed me up.
Right. Okay. You're not multiplying by x because you don't know what x is. Okay. 13. Same type problem, but what are we doing this time? Subtracting. So, what's the big thing we need to remember when we are subtracting? Put a parentheses. Okay? 9 minus x squared minus parentheses 3 minus x. Okay? That will change to plus minus plus. And again, we only have two like terms. 9 minus 3 is what? 6.
Why did you just change it to plus minus?
Because I distributed the negative. I said negative times 3 gives me negative 3. And negative times negative x gives me positive x. It's just quicker just to change the signs. Okay? Everybody good on 13? Okay. 14. I gave you one like they do on the ACT. Who was that was talking about that yesterday? They saw one like this on the ACT? Was it Katie? Okay. This is more like what you see on the ACT than just the composition of them by themselves. Okay. It even gives you a hint on how to do it. Okay. So here's what we're doing. You can either combine them like we did yesterday, or you can do them one at a time. Okay. I'm just going to do them one at a time. We're going to plug negative 3 in for what? Into the function what? F. And then I'm going to take that answer and plug it into the function g. Everybody with me? So first I'm going to find f of negative 3. F of x is x squared minus 1. So negative 3 squared minus 1. That is 8. Everybody follow? So f of negative 3 equals 8. Now what do we do with the 8? We plug it into the g. Okay? So 8 minus 2 divided by 8. That's 6 over 8, which reduces to 3 over 4.
Yeah, can you redo that whole problem?
I can. Has everybody got before that? Okay, I'm going to erase the whole thing. Give me a little more room over here. Now, that was step plugging that one into one function and then that answer into another function. You could have also done it like this. Figure out what f of g is first. That means you're plugging this in for x there. I'm not gonna do it this way, but I'm gonna show you why I'm not doing it this way. So f of g of x would end up being x minus 2 over x squared minus 1. Okay? That's really ugly to you, to me, to everyone. Okay? So I would probably not do it that way. I can still do it that way, but it's going to be a little more common. Is that how you do it? You didn't do it that? How did you do it?
I did.
Did you get the right answer?
Yes.
Really?
I did cheat, but
Let's hear what you did.
if I can decipher my work, then I will. I did g of f of x, and it was x squared minus 3 over x squared minus 1. I think is what I got. Basically I plugged in the f into the g.
Okay, so you went that direction.
Yes.
Okay. So you were doing it like this, you just went the wrong direction. Okay? F of g means you take g and plug it into f, not the other way around. Okay? Alright, so you were thinking right, you just went the backwards way. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Does it say?
Yeah.
It does.
So was I going
And now I'm
backwards?
embarrassed on national YouTube.
National.
You know, y'all could have told me that to...
Wait, so was I going backwards or no?
Cut the camera.
Did I do it?
Alexis, I was going backwards, okay? Thanks for...
You can just skip that part in the video.
Is there an edit button?
Oh, I still got the right answer.
Don't forget to lock
I was like,
Well, because
At least we'll know what.
I did the first way was the right way.
yeah.
And then I did it backwards the second way because I'm a goof. Sorry.
Can you teach me how to do it now?
Yeah. All right, Caden. You ready? Let me get some more room here.
Whoa.
Yeah, the right way. I don't want to listen to Alexa.
All right.
I'm sorry.
So right here, g of f of x. This means g of f of x. Oops, and I put x. I need to put what?
-3.
I need to put -3.
You need to take a breather.
Get some sun, kid. Take a break.
I'm not drinking Sunkist today. I'm drinking Coke Zero. And it has 0 effect. Actually, I love it. If Coke Zero would like to sponsorship, hit me up. I'll drink Coke Zero every day. All right. F of -3. So first we find f of -3. You got me? So f of -3 means we take x in f, x squared minus 1. And instead of putting the x, we put what?
-3.
-3.
Let me write that down real quick.
That is 8. F of -3 equals 8.
Guys, what do
So I take this 8 and I plug it in for f of -3 there because they are equal, correct? Since they're equal, I can substitute them.
you take the 8 and put it in for F?
I'm now finding g of 8. Because what's f of -3?
8.
8. So I'm finding g of 8 now. And I take g, which is x minus 2 over x, and I plug in my 8. And it reduces to 3/4.
So you take G, and
Right
so for X you put in 8.
Correct.
So you did 8 minus 2 over 8.
Correct. You get 6 over 8.
You get 6 over 8, and that simplifies to 3/4.
Correct.
Good.
Thanks, Alexis.
Did I do it wrong?
No, you did it right.
Okay.
And then after you did all that, you plugged in 3 or -3,
Yes.
right? Yes, that's right.
Okay.
That's what that you did it the way I was talking about doing it the first time. I just did it backwards.
Okay.
Okay, I said the first time, the second time.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. 15. Not another one. No. All right, I'm not screwing this one up.
G of F.
I'm going to erase that and do it above it here. So, I am going to find what first?
G of X of F.
I'm underlining it. I'm going to find what first?
F.
F of
2.
2. Okay. There's F. X minus 6 divided by X. And what do I plug in?
2.
2. That is negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. So now I'm going to find g of negative 2. I take that and I do it now with g. So parentheses squared plus 4, that will be 8.
So you do negative 2 squared plus 4.
Correct.
What did that end up being?
8.
8. So you're not done yet.
We're done.
I did that.
You okay, Gracie?
I did that the most complicated way imaginable.
Did you get the right answer to that?
Yes.
See, you're...
No, I did it even more complicated than the last one. I don't even know how.
If it's okay with you, I'm just going to move on.
Yeah.
Okay, all
fine.
right. Everybody good? Alrighty then. 16. What do we need to solve for on 16? Y. Okay. Solve it for y, so I'm going to move 4x over first. That will leave me with 7y equals negative 4x plus 28. And then you divide by 7. And since I have choices here, I know my slope is going what? Up or down? It's going down. So it's got to be either B or C. Because A and D are both going what? Up. All right. What is my y-intercept? 28 divided by 7 is what? 4. Positive 4. So it has to be which answer? Has to be B.
I think I actually got that.
Little McCullough's watching the Letter Factory. So
That's all I understand.
that's, we're hoping it works for him. So, because he's, he's got mama, dada, and, ball. But other than that,
Mister,
yes.
imagine that a bunch of these answers were like all the lines were going positive
Okay.
on 4.
Okay.
What would it come down to?
All right. I use my slope.
So
And
you
my
go-
y-intercept.
You go over 4.
I go to 4. Okay. And apparently these are counting by 2s because that looks like 2. All right. And I would go down to 4 and right 7. 2, 4, 6, 7.
And it's on there.
And it's on there. Okay? But thankfully, test will be just like the review. Just different numbers.
Cool.
Okay? So you're not gonna have a bunch of lines like that for your answers. Okay?
Okay.
All right. 17. Find the zeros. How do you find a zero? Plug in 0 is correct, but what do you plug in 0 for? The y. So you say 0 equals 3x minus 1. Add your 1 over. 1 equals 3x. Divide by 3. What is your 0?
0,
1/3. Okay?
Problem number 1.
18, same problem, but it's not multiple choice. So 0 equals 2x minus 8. If I add the 8 over, I will get 8 equals 2x. And when you divide by 2, x is 4.
You just went like speed fast.
I'll slow it down. Plug in 0 for f of x. Remember, is f of x and y different? No, they mean the same thing. The only difference is when it's f of x, you know it's a what? Function. Okay? If it just says y, it doesn't mean it's not a function. It just means it could not be a function. Everybody with me? Okay? Because that is a function, 3x minus 1. All right? So they're just telling you when it's written like f of x, you know for a fact it's in function notation, so therefore it's a function. Okay? 19. You good?
Could you so like on the first, on 17,
Yes.
your 1, you have a 1 and a 3, and so you just ended up simplifying it to 1 over 3.
Right.
And this one you did 8 over 2,
Right.
and it simplified to 4.
Correct.
So could you just do it like that all the time, or do we just get lucky?
No, you can always simplify.
I don't know if you
Coach
understand.
Knight,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have Emma Garner?
I do.
Can you send her to the office for just a minute?
Sure can.
Thank you.
Look, I'm gonna have to.
You just
come
got
over
called
and
to
show
the
you.
office on YouTube. Ooh, burn.
So like, there's a 1 here.
So 19. Again, let me give you some space over here. What do they give us, and what are they asking for? What are we finding?
Y equals mx plus b.
Finding an equation in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. And they give us the slope and a point, which is what? As far as your variables go, x and y. So we know right now, okay, this is the beauty of multiple choice questions, okay? Right now, what cannot be the answer of your choices? A and B, because their slopes are what? -4.
Negative.
Everybody see that? Okay, so we just got to figure out what is the B. So I'm going to plug in my y. What was y? -2. My m is what? 4. And my x is 5 plus b. 4 times 5 is 20. And when you subtract 20, for those of you at home wondering why Emma went to the office, she got her Letterman jacket. She's not in trouble. Don't spread rumors. Okay.
You gotta wear a shirt on it.
So what's my answer? D. D. 20 is just like 19, but it's not a what? It's not multiple choice. So you got to make sure you get it right by yourself. Okay. No help here. So come over here. Give me a little room. Y equals mx plus b. I just write it down so I don't forget it. What is y?
Oh, -4.
-4. My slope is 5. X is -1
Plus b.
plus b. So that would be +5 on both sides. 1 is b. Make sure you don't stop. Don't stop now because you haven't wrote the what yet? The answer. Okay, the equation. Y equals 5x plus 1.
You always gonna have a y and an x in your.
You always have a y and an x in your answer. Correct. Everybody good on 20? Awesome. Moving on. $21. $21, I need a little more room. All right, 21. Same type question, but a little different. This time we have to figure out the what?
Standard.
The standard form. Uh-oh. What is the standard form?
I don't know.
8x plus by equals c.
Never heard. We did not go over that.
We didn't in our first week. We did not review that. But you did it in Algebra 1 and
Yeah.
pre-algebra and Algebra 2.
Literally, my last math was first semester. Junior year.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's been a bit. All right. So this is your standard form. You need to know it. All right. There is something special about A, B, and C. What is the something special? They are the first 3 letters of the alphabet. Even more special than that. They have to be integers. Okay. So if you notice your answers, they're all integers, right? There's no decimals. Okay. There's no fractions. That's a staple of being standard form. Okay. So we're going to work this just like we did a minute ago, but we're going to take our answer that we just got and make it look like this. That's the only difference. Okay. So first we have to find the slope. What do you do with the y's over the x's? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. What do you do? You subtract. So -4 minus 1. Remember, it does not matter what order you do as long as you do it the same on top and bottom. So since I picked -4 first on top, what do I need to pick first on bottom? -8. It's a little buddy over there. Okay, -8 minus -4. That is -5 over. It's -4, isn't it? Yeah. My slope is 5/4. Everybody good? Now I do it like I was doing a minute ago. Plug them in. Which point would you like to use? There's not really a better one, so -4 and 1. Okay. 1 equals 5/4 times -4 plus b. Understand, I'm using this point. I could have used the other point though. Does not matter. You'll get the same answer. Okay? What happens to the 4s? They cancel because one's on top, one's on bottom. So I'm left with -5 plus b. And what's b going to be? Why is it negative? Because this was a -4. -4 divided by 4 is negative what? 1. Okay? So -1 times 5 is -5. So 6 is B. All right? So, like I said, y equals 5/4 x plus 6. That's my slope-intercept form, but that's not a choice because we want the what form? Standard form. So I have to make this look like this. Okay? What do you notice is first over here on all of them? And on your standard form? X. So what do you think I might want to move over there to the front? X. How would I move that over there? Subtract. So that will be -5/4 x plus y equals 6. Remember, standard form can't have what? Can have integers. They can't have decimals or fractions. How do I get rid of that fraction? Multiply everything by the not reciprocal. You do multiply everything by something there. The denominator. Okay? And I'm going to take it one step further because there's also another, and I hesitate to say this because depending on which book you're looking at, they'd say different things. When I say book, I mean textbook. Some say A has to be positive. Some say A can be negative. Well, since my answer is A, all of them are what? Positive. I'm assuming this book says A has to be positive. Okay? So I'm not actually going to multiply by 4. I'm going to multiply by -4. And I have to do that to everything. Because remember, golden rule of algebra, whatever you do to one thing, you got to do it to everything. Okay? So these -4s now do what? They cancel, and I'm left with 5x. -4 times y is -4y equals -24.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes,
Okay.
which is C.
I did y. Hold on, where'd it go? I did y equals 5/4 x plus 6 or whatever, and I went ahead and multiplied by the denominator. To
First?
get rid of it. Yeah.
That's fine.
And then I ended up with
Negative.
-5x plus 4y equals 24. All I had to do was divide the whole thing by -1.
Correct.
And that works every time?
Yes. Yes. Did y'all hear what she said?
Yeah.
If you want to get rid of the fraction here first, you can. Just same rule though. Multiply everything by the denominator. Okay? And then, like she said, she moved the 5x over, which made it negative. Well, she noticed she didn't have any. Okay? So yeah, you just change all the signs. Okay? Just know changing all the signs is basically dividing by -1. Okay? Everybody good? That one's a toughie. All right.
You don't have to put that on the
20, oh, I'm sorry. 22. Another one, but it is not multiple choice, so we get to do it all on our lonesome. I don't think there's a fraction on this one, though, but I could be wrong. We'll see. Slope. -4 minus 9 over -9 minus 4. That's negative what, 13? And negative 13 divided by negative 13 is 1. So my slope is 1. I plug it into y equals mx plus b. I'm going to use the second point because they're positive. Again, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Y is 9, m is 1, x is 4, plus b. Subtract 4, b is 5. So we have y equals x plus 5. What do I need to do with my x? Okay.
Oh, okay.
I didn't write the 1 because it's understood. Okay.
Yeah. I'm good.
Very good. Okay. One more step. Well, actually, 2 more. What do we need to do with the x?
Subtract.
Move it over to the front. So negative x plus y equals 5. But how do we need to write it? Positive x minus y equals negative 5. If you write the one before that, like I said, since there's kind of differing opinions in different books, depending on which book you use, I'll probably give you credit for it. But if it's the ACT, I would go with the one where A is positive. Okay?
Why'd you change the x and the y?
Because again, part of being standard form is they like A to always be positive. So if you end up with A being negative, just change all the signs. So A is positive. Okay?
Can you do y minus x?
Sorry?
Can you do y minus x?
No. X needs to be AX plus BY equals C. Okay?
Pretty sure you're gonna say that's something different.
The answer has something different? I don't think it is. No, 22. X minus Y equals negative 5.
I really don't know.
Okay. All right. 23. This is another thing we didn't go over in our book work because you should remember, okay? If something is parallel, what are their slopes? The same, but they have different y-intercepts. Perpendicular, the slopes are? And opposite reciprocals. So slopes the same,
Cross.
slope opposite reciprocal. Okay? Coincident. That's probably a word you've never heard. Okay? I hadn't heard it. All that means is they are exactly the same. Okay? Slope same and y-intercept is the same. Okay? So basically it's the same exact equation. All right? And none of these just means they have a different slope, basically. Okay? Now, not different being opposite reciprocal, but just any other kind of different. So, 23. Would those be parallel, perpendicular, coincident, or none of these? Well, I need to do what with that?
Make it positive.
Divide by negative, right? That'll cancel. So this is y equals negative 7x minus 35. Now I compare them. Do they have the same slope? Yes, so they're parallel if they don't have the same y-intercept. Do they have the same y-intercept? No. So they are parallel. How about 24?
So since they're the same thing, they're parallel?
Since the slopes are the same, they're parallel, yes.
What is the slope?
The slope is that number in front of x after you solved it for y.
So they're both negative 7.
Correct. 24, the top one's already solved for y. The bottom one we need to divide by 2. All right. What did we get? Exactly the same equation. Therefore, they are coincident. Okay?
That's the way it is. I thought it was going to be.
25, still talking about parallel or not parallel, says which of the following lines is not parallel to the graph of this. So we're looking for what kind of slope here?
Positive?
Nope.
Oh, that's not parallel.
It's -3. So we're looking for one, since it's not parallel, we're looking for one that is not -3. Everybody with me? Okay. Would A's slope be -3? Yes. It's not a -3 looking at it, but we got to move it, right? So that one is okay. So that one's not an answer. What about C?
No, it has an X on it.
So what's its slope? 1. That one's not parallel. Okay. Now, did y'all notice how I did that? Did I worry about doing B and D next? No, do the easy ones first, okay? If you find the answer, you can move on, okay? I got to find B and D. I got to solve those for Y and C. It's a lot quicker just to look at C, which is already done for me, and check it. Everybody good? All right. 26 and 27 and 28. We have done these already. Did y'all know that?
Sure.
Sure?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound very confident.
Oh, I just put these on. That's nice.
That's a good idea. Write a line, or excuse me, write an equation. So we're writing an equation again of a line that is parallel to this graph and passes through point 1, -4. So this problem is just like number 19, okay? Like 19. On 19, they gave us the slope and a point, and we had to write the equation, okay? Here, they are giving us the slope and a point, and we have to write the equation. Now, they don't say the slope is blank. They give us an equation. It says it has to be what to that equation? Parallel. So if it's parallel, these slopes are the what? Same. So what's my slope?
-7.
-7. That's my M. And now it is exactly like 19. Is everybody with me? Okay. So we've already done one like this. They just give us the information a little differently. So 26 up here, we're going to say y equals mx plus b. I forgot the x. So y is -4. M, they said, is -7. X is 1 plus b. What's -7 times 1? And what do we do with that? Add it over. So +7 on both sides. B is 3. So ugly B. There we go. That makes me feel better. So B is 3. M is -7. So my answer is y equals -7x plus 3. Everybody good? Okay. 27, same process, a little more work, however. This time it's what? Perpendicular. Okay, it's opposite reciprocal to this line. The problem is that line is not already solved for y, so we have to what? Solve it for y. So that's going to be -6y equals, what do I do with that 24x?
You bring it over to the other side?
By subtracting, correct. Subtract 24x to the other side, and then divide by -6. What is -24 divided by -6? 4x. So my slope is what? 4. Is that the slope I'm using though? No, remember we want it what? Perpendicular. Now, normally, I have to go and do all this again. But they gave me 0.02. Since x is 0, that is the what? What do we come over here to find? What is B? B is the y-intercept, right? The y-intercept is when x is what? 0. So they gave me the y-intercept. I don't have to go and find it like I have been being. I know the y-intercept is what? 2. So I could have started the problem off knowing it can't be B because B's y-intercept was -2. Okay? So I just need 2, and I need not 4, but -1 what? -1/4, which is C. Okay? And then 28, same type. Again, they give me the y-intercept, right? So all I have to find is the what? Slope. Because I know it's going to be y equals something x minus 7. I know that. I just have to figure out what the slope is, which means I have to find the slope here and then do the opposite reciprocal. Okay? So that's going to be 3y equals -18x minus 5, and then divide by 3. So that's -6x. Notice, am I worried about any of the rest of the part of the problem? No, because I'm only interested in getting the slope. If the slope's -6, what's perpendicular to -6? +1/6 minus 7. +1/6x minus 7. Okay? Everybody good? Everybody got it? All right. 29. It's a big, big problem. Now, which graph is a scatter plot of the data from the following table? Here's the problem with this. There's the data. There's the scatter plots. So basically, you just have to match up the points, okay? So I have to go back and forth here. You don't have to do anything else except match up the points. So I'm looking at the points. Let's see what they have different. Do you see how they all, it looks like they all have, what is that, 120, 100? 120, 100, 120, 100, they all have 120, 100, okay? You're looking for the points that they don't have in common, basically, okay, to figure out which answer it is. So here's 109, 98,784, 57, 59,033, 48, 38,029, and so on and so forth. So you're just figuring out which one matches up with it, okay? I believe, so I don't want to tell you wrong, it should be the first one, correct?
Yeah.
Is that what y'all got? Okay.
How do you figure it out?
Well, you see this first point right here?
Yeah.
It's around 10 and goes up to about 10. If you look, you have one right here. It's 12, but 12's around 10, and it goes up to what? 10. Okay.
I thought it said 10,000.
It is 10,000, but if you look at your thing, notice it says thousands. It's measured, so it says 20, but it's 20 what? 1,000, 40,000, 60,000, 80,000. You got me? And you just keep matching them all up. All right. The next one would be, let's see here, 15 and 12, 679. Find 15 would be about halfway, and you're looking for 15. Wait, what was it? That's why this is hard, because it's hard on the computer to go back and forth. 15, 12, 679. Okay. So 15 goes up to, as you can see, it's not quite halfway, so it's about 12. That one has that point too. C does not. So C, I would X out. It can't be C. And you just keep doing that until you figure them all out. Okay? 30. Hit the wrong button. 30. We talked about this. These are really quick. The graphing calculator gives a Pearson product moment correlation value R of -0.987 for a set of data. What does this tell you about the relationship between the data? So if it's -0.987, is that close to -1?
Yeah.
How close? Really close? So what do you think? Is it a moderately negative, strong positive, weak negative, strong negative? Strong negative. D. Okay? What if it's positive 0.945?
Strong.
Say strong positive. Okay? 32. What do you have to do to get the R? Plug them in your calculator. So you've got, what, 1 through 8? Is that right? Where do you go in your calculator to do this? Stat. Edit. We still have our numbers from the last one in there. Oh, didn't get clear. So 1 through 8. Hit stat, and it's the very first one. You see it? You see the stat button?
Yeah, I don't know how to clear it, but.
Okay, go all the way to the top. Watch. I'm not going to do it. Go all the way to the top. Hit clear. Not delete, just clear. And then scroll down. And they should go away. All right? L2. Would y'all mind reading them to me? Or somebody? Emma, you're really good at this. That's not even you. Who's that? Oh, I gotta get. Y'all sound alike. What'd you say? 1250. Thank you, Kimball.
1,000. 500. 400. 200.
100.
100.
150.
100.
Now, just again, ACT here. Save time, right? If I had to do this on the ACT, okay, which two could I get rid of just by looking at it? Why?
Because it's negative and the numbers go down.
The numbers are going down. R is not going to be positive. You got me? Okay. So that at least get you those two real quick. Okay. Back to my calculator. So I hit stat. Go over to calc. Number 4. You can also just hit 4 and go to calculate. Negative 0.9778. So that is fairly the right answer. A. Okay. I could have already told you it was going to be A because how much does this go down? 400, right? This one goes down about 450. See what I'm saying? It's 500, 100. Okay, so they're close as far as how far they're going down. All right. How about 33? Same thing. Does everybody understand how to do this? Yeah. All right. I'm going to tell you the answer and move on so we don't not finish. 33 should be R was, I done lost it. R was 0.1436. Is that what y'all got?
Mm-hmm.
And that is what? That is a weak positive correlation. That's weak.
How do you know it's weak and positive again?
It's positive because it's positive. It's a positive decimal. Okay. It's weak because it's not very close to 1. Okay. This is a very
So you're going by 1. So what if it's negative? What do you go by?
negative 1.
Negative 1?
See how close this is to negative 1?
Yeah.
So that is a very strong negative correlation. This one up here, the one before that, was very close to positive 1, so it's a strong positive correlation. Make sense? Okay. 34. Last one. Nope. Next to last one. Is that the same? Oh, okay. Same problem. Plug them in. Get your R. Your R on this one should have been 0.979. So what kind of correlation would that be? Strong positive. And last but not least, our fun ones. What's this called again? When it's in pieces? Piecewise function. Okay. So, I told you yesterday, I can get rid of one of these simply by looking at it. Which one of those is not a function? The first one, A. See how it doesn't pass the vertical line test? Okay, there's no way it can be A. All right, up here. And again, I'm kind of just using common sense here. X is less than 5. That means it's to the left of 5, right? What's my slope?
3.
Positive. Could that be an answer? Slope's going up.
Yeah, but you can run a
Could this
line.
one be an answer? Yeah, slope's going up. Could this one be an answer? No, because the slope is what? It's going down, so it can't be D. Okay? Yes, sir.
You can run a line through B and D, can't you? Because there's 2 points.
Yeah, but that point above it is what? What kind of circle?
Not a whole circle.
It's an open circle, which makes it okay. If that was closed and that was closed, you're correct. That would not be an answer. Okay? All right, so I am going to use, if you notice here, my 2 options B and C. All right? Again, I haven't even looked at the right side. I've only looked at the left side because that's really all I need. Let me start here. What's it supposed to go through on the y-intercept? Positive 2. Does that go through 2 or does that go through 2? Which one? B or C? C is not going through 2. I don't think. Is it? Oh, I guess it is then. Oh, okay. What did I do wrong? No, what did I not pay attention to? I didn't pay attention to how much they're going by. Okay? I thought they were going by 1s. or 2s. They're going by what? 5s? 5, 10, 15, 20? Okay, so I thought that was going through 0, but it's just really close to 0. Is that making sense? Okay, so forget what I was saying earlier. That's not going to work on these because you can't really tell. Up here, if that's 5, that's probably 2.5, but the problem is my slope's not steep enough, okay? If I have a slope of 3, all right, that's going up 3 over 1. That's pretty steep, okay? So it has to be C. All right, that is it. Let me go grab your practice test.
36.
Oh, there's more? Oh, there sure is.
37.
37.
Not bad. I thought we were done.
Piecewise.
Oh, more. Huh. More of those. All right. To the left of -5 needs to be what? What's it need to be every time?
-3.
So which one can it not be? Process of elimination. Can't be C. All right. In between here. All right. Well, hold up before we do that. Ah. Okay. I was about to say we already crossed out C. It also couldn't be C because it doesn't pass the vertical line test. All right. In between in the middle here, we have a slope of 1 and it goes through what? 2. Look at your inequalities here. What kind of circle?
Close.
What kind of circle? So can it be B? Nope. Could it be 20? Yeah. Could it be, 20. Could it be D or could it be A? It could be both of those. Okay. Now, somebody tell me what's the difference, and you got to look closely at what the difference is. There is a difference. It's not much of one, but it's a difference.
The shorter line is different.
Yeah.
A right here is above, what would that be, 15? Okay, so that's like at about -13 or so, right? This one is below it, so it's like at -16, 17. Everybody see that? So what basically I need to go down here to the very bottom one, and at 15, if I plug that in, -15 plus 2, what would that be? -13. So which answer would be the correct one? A. Because this is saying if I plug it in, I get negative like 17. Okay? All right. Last one. Right here. Again.
Move the opposite way. If it's in the absolute value parts, right?
Translate left 5
So,
and down what?
4.
Down 4. So, it can't be C or D. How, can y'all tell the difference between A and B?
Yeah,
A.
A's up a little more than B.
Yeah.
Sure is.
What he said.
Okay. Yeah. This one goes down 1, 2, 3, 4. This one goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, that's close. Yeah, it is A.
Didn't you make 2?
I didn't. The computer did. All right. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. And as always, stay above the line. Nighty night.